When the dinosaur lowered its head to drink, the river seemed to hold its breath. Beneath the muddy depths, something stirred. Then suddenly, a massive snout broke the surface. Hundreds of dagger-like teeth snapped shut in an instant. The dinosaur vanished beneath the water. But what could Sarcosuchus really have done that? Or is this just a tale exaggerated over millions of years? 110 million years ago. Forget the Sahara, you know. This was a lost world, a paradise drowned in water. Not of sand, but of mighty rivers, vast and swift, stretching for tens of kilometers. They fed a colossal delta, a kingdom of mangrove forests and unimaginable creatures. And lurking beneath those murky waters ruled a tyrant, an apex predator whose very name spoke of power. Sarcosuchus imperator, the crocodile emperor. These numbers are staggering. Nearly 12 meters long, weighing over 8 tons. It made modern crocodiles look like apprentices. Its skull alone was as long as a grown human, and inside it, hundreds of conical teeth, not made for slicing, but for crushing, pinning, and holding. Once they locked onto you, there was no escape. Its strategy was pure patience. An 8-ton machine didn't need to chase. It was a living fortress, the ultimate ambush predator. It simply waited and waited until the river brought the meal to it. And then, an explosion of water and muscle, lightning fast, absolutely deadly. But ancient fish were just the appetizer. Don't be fooled by that stillness, because when the target was a dinosaur, the emperor was ready to rise. The only question was, could an 8-ton fortress beneath the water really be fast enough to bring down a giant on land? When the first fossils of Sarcosuchus imperator were pulled from the barren rocks of Niger, it wasn't just a discovery, it was a challenge. A creature of unimaginable size, one that shattered everything we thought we knew about ancient life. But this colossal skeleton didn't bring clear answers. It ignited a fierce debate, one that split the scientific community into two sides. On one side, we have the image of a prehistoric nightmare, the ultimate dinosaur hunter. On the other, a completely different portrait, a slow, specialized giant, a gentle scavenger. For the predator camp, the argument is simple. You don't grow that big by eating fish alone. Such colossal size demands colossal energy, and the numbers are terrifying. Its bite force is estimated to be 5 times stronger than that of a T-Rex. That's not a bite meant to hold fish, that's a bite meant to destroy. Hundreds of conical teeth packed tightly together, forming a steel trap. They weren't made for slicing, but for gripping, for dragging a multi-ton creature off balance and pulling it down into the muddy depths. In a world with no equal rivals, it stood as the undisputed emperor of the rivers in the early Cretaceous. Every creature that came too close to the water's edge paid a heavy price. But as that dramatic image fades, biomechanics tells a different story, one far more grounded and far colder. The second group of scientists strongly disagrees, and they point to the most obvious feature, the snout. The snout of Sarcosuchus wasn't a narrow, reinforced weapon like that of the Nile crocodile. It was broad, rounded, and bulbous at the tip. A classic design for fish eaters, perfect for snapping swiftly underwater, but poorly suited to withstand the violent thrashing of a large dinosaur on land. And then comes the fatal flaw, the neck. Analyses show that its neck muscles were far weaker than those of modern predators. It could bite hard, incredibly hard, but it lacked the strength to wrestle. It couldn't perform the infamous death roll used to tear prey apart. Without that ability, bringing down large prey would have been nearly impossible. And so, a new image emerges, that of a lazy giant, an opportunist living off the large fish and whatever carcass happened to drift down the river. Two hypotheses, Two completely opposite portraits. A lurking killer or a scavenging opportunist? A bringer of terror or simply a misunderstood giant? So which one was the real Sarcosuchus? Could it be that we, just like its prey, have been deceived by its sheer size? That we've built a legend simply because it was too big to ignore? The answer doesn't lie in speculation. It lies buried within the bones themselves, in the fine details of its teeth, the structure of its vertebrae, and the ancient ecosystem it once ruled. But when supercomputers reconstructed its biomechanics, they revealed a shocking truth, a terrifying paradox. The laboratory confirmed it. The bite force of Sarcosuchus was beyond imagination. A pure, crushing power, 5 times stronger than that of the mighty T-Rex, strong enough to turn even iron-like bones into dust. And yet that killing machine had its Achilles heel. 3D modeling revealed that this 8-ton body, with its short, stubby legs, was almost incapable of moving efficiently on land. It was a living fortress, yes, but a fortress that could not move. Too heavy, too sluggish, too slow. And here lies the greatest riddle of all. How could a creature chained by its own weight, a predator almost incapable of movement, still become the undisputed terror that ruled an entire prehistoric river? The solution to that paradox lies within its very world. Sarcosuchus didn't need to be swift. It didn't need to run, because it was a predator in a realm where the laws of physics were bent, the world beneath the surface. The river itself was its liberator. On land, 8 tons meant certain death, but beneath the murky water, that weight disappeared. Its colossal body, buoyed by the water, glided silently like a ghost. It didn't swim, it drifted. It merged with the mud and tangled roots, becoming part of the river itself. Each powerful tail movement wasn't meant for speed, but for precise, deliberate motion, absolute silence. It was a living submarine, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And then, when the prey was just a breath away, every muscle, the neck, the back, the jaws detonated at once, unleashing all their power in a single millisecond. This wasn't a bite, it was a collision. 8 tons of crushing force, a number that made the mighty T-Rex 6-ton bite seem almost modest. The jaws of Sarcosuchus weren't built to cut, they were built to end. No chase, no struggle, just one snap, and the game was over. Anything caught between those jaws met the same fate, utter annihilation. Its power was like an 18-wheeler careening downhill, enough to shatter the thick shells of ancient turtles or tear through the armored scales of prehistoric fish. But its true weapon wasn't muscle, it was strategy. This was the genius of Sarcosuchus. It turned its weakness into strength. It couldn't chase, so it learned to wait. It waited with terrifying patience, lurking for hours, even days, motionless as stone, all for a single, perfect moment, when the river itself would deliver a meal right to its jaws. It was a machine refined for one purpose, a predator that didn't need speed, because in the world of Sarcosuchus, stillness was the deadliest weapon of all. But what happened when the rivers ran dry? So, what's the truth? Today, the picture is clearer. Sarcosuchus was never the frenzied hunter of legend. It didn't need to be. It was something far more primal and far more terrifying. The waiter. A silent shadow dissolved into the very river it ruled. It turned its greatest paradox, a massive, sluggish body, into its ultimate weapon. No speed, no chase, because its true power was absolute patience. For a creature that could lie motionless for days, time was never the enemy. Time was the ally. It only had to wait until the world made a mistake. It did not hunt out of rage. It hunted to survive. Sarcosuchus did not kill. It simply existed. In the end, between truth and legend, It never needed the title of monster. That name was ours to give. All it ever needed was a place deep enough to wait and a river willing to swallow everything. And when night falls over the ancient swamp, when every other sound fades away, no one truly knows whether it still lingers there, motionless, waiting beneath the mud. Today, the Sahara is nothing but sand and wind. The great river is dead. No more flooded forests, no more echoes of waves. Only a buried memory remains of an age when this place was once a world overflowing with life. But every time a sandstorm sweeps across the desert, history resurfaces. Gigantic teeth emerge once more from the earth, relics of a king, as if the ancient river itself were telling its story again. Sarcosuchus is gone. Its 8-ton body has long merged with the earth, but its legend remains. It endures, eternal, drifting forever with the river that has long run dry. The legend of Sarcosuchus is truly astonishing, isn't it? So what do you think? Was it a dinosaur hunter or just a giant fish eater? Tell us your theory in the comments below. If you're amazed by the power of the ancient world, don't forget to like this video. And if you know someone who shares your passion for giant prehistoric creatures, make sure to share it with them. Most importantly, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We'll be back soon with more incredible stories of Earth's long-lost monsters. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next adventure.